Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alert.
24 HRS before Trump plans in flooded Texas, racist thugs leave dead victims with nasty surprise. Much of Houston, Texas is underwater as one of the most devastating floods ravaged this part of the state. Residents have been ordered to evacuate, many of who have lost it all, including 20, so far, who have been killed by the hurricane's wrath. As Texans prepare for another round of Hurricane Harvey to slam the state, President Donald Trump announced his arrival in the devastated area, set for Tuesday. No storm can hold this commander-in-chief back from supporting these Americans. However, with word that he's coming, racist thugs have just left the dead victims with an unforgivable surprise. While the country watches in horror at the destruction, loss, and suffering in this area, a group of racist thugs saw something else in the devastation. Texas Governor Greg Abbott just activated 3,000 federal and state guard members, which will be needed for more than just cleaning up the mess Harvey left behind, as these despicable opportunists proved that black lives really don't matter to them. Tropical Storm Harvey's multi-day siege on Texas and the Gulf Coast has killed at least 5, prompted thousands of rescues and triggered catastrophic flooding across the Houston metro, the Weather Channel reported. Now, swollen waterways are prompting evacuations in surrounding areas. Families have picked up and escaped for their safety, hoping to get out alive before being claimed in the death toll. Most left with just what they had on their backs and maybe a few personal belongings, leaving valuables in their homes which they couldn't get in time. While thousands were leaving the deadly flood zone, several black males were making their way into evacuated homes and businesses, but not to help rescue anyone who couldn't make it out on their own. Knowing there were valuable belongings left in these places, the thugs took what was left, ensuring that displaced families had nothing to return to. The opportunity to look must have been the first thing on their minds when evacuations were announced, as it started shortly after. However, it didn't end well for a couple thieves who thought defied evacuation orders and risked their own safety for some flat-screen televisions. The Gateway Pundit reports. In what might be the most appalling scene out of Houston besides the image of flood victims, an eyewitness named Isabel Torres uploaded a video to Facebook which shows looters making away with televisions. The video shows 2 males carrying televisions over their heads. It is not clear which store the goods were stolen from. Twitter user VM located the strip mall where the theft took place. Thanks to this witness who put these looters and their location on blast with a picture of them in the act, Houston PD were able to track them down. Blue Lives Matter reports that the looters were arrested, however, it's unclear if the criminals caught were those from the witness video. This is to say that there are more thuggish opportunists out there taking advantage of this flood and the victims than just these 2 seen. Some people thought they'd loot and find themselves in jail thanks to the men and women of at Houston Pulse, Houston PD Chief Art Acevedo announced on Twitter on Sunday. While Houston police have worked quickly to rescue an estimated 2,000 from the deadly flood zone, they were distracted from this important effort to arrest the thugs there to steal from these victims. There are still more people trapped in their attics that these cops have to get to, and while the wait for help and fear for their lives, degenerates around them could soon be stealing from them too. Unlike when floods ravaged Louisiana on Barack Obama's watch, President Trump is going to the scene of the desperate scenario to offer his support. His thoughts are just with these victims, he is personally. This is also more than the race baiters can say, who are now nowhere to be found to prove what they preach, that Black Lives Matter. There are countless black victims in Texas right now that don't matter enough to the looters to not take from them, or to protesters who say they are speaking for them. Their overwhelming silence on the issue proves that the movement, destruction of American monuments, unrest, and protests, has never been about black people. It's only been an excuse for attention and to get away with crimes in the name of preventing racism. Their overwhelming silence on the issue proves that the movement, destruction of American monuments, unrest, and protests have never been about black people. It's only been an excuse for attention and to get away with crimes in the name of preventing racism. These protesters were just screaming about President Trump last week, accusing him of supporting white supremacy. But what will they have to say now that he's showing up to help? Chances are, they will stay silent and only start speaking again when they find something new to criticize him for. Meanwhile, they can just sit back and watch him get involved where they, and Barack Obama, have refused to. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.